there is no right and wrong. The question is only about, has it worked for you or not?
Yes. Namaste, world raisers. Sabine and Roger here. Let's watch Sadhguru talks about Osho together.
Yeah, I can't wait for this. I've never heard anything from Sadhguru about Osho, so I'm curious about this. We've got a lot of requests for Osho videos, and we know nothing about him. So let's dive right into this.
Because one's way was never the same as the others. Someone asked me, Sadhguru J. Krishnamurti was a master of his intellect. Rajneesh was a master of controversy. What are you? I said, I'm a master of chaos. I know how to harness chaos. I can make a chaotic situation culminate into something fantastic. So, every master had his own way. And all of this melted pretty well into the culture. You will see, except today's English-educated India, if you go to the rural masses, you will see if you go to a place, a Kumbh Mela is a fantastic display of this. If you go to, let's say, Kumbh Mela, a classic event on the planet, one like no other.
Wow.
Every kind of path, the weird and the wise, all perfectly fitting into each other. Nothing contradicts anything. Everything is absolutely different from the other, but nothing contradicts anything, everything fits in perfectly well. This is not something that a thinking mind, a logically correct mind, particularly a Western mind, could understand. How do all these people fit together? This is because there is no right and wrong. The question is only about, has it worked for you or not?
Yes.
If it has worked to evolve you into a higher state of being, it doesn't matter whether it's right for me or not, whether it agrees with me or not. If it doesn't agree with me, there's always another way for me. So this is a fantastic outcome of generations and generations of enlightened beings. Each one of them, unhindered by what the previous one had said, explored his own way, expounded his own path, never in conflict with the one before him or the ones before him. So this is the nature of exploration, that it's not about right and wrong, it's about just making it happen. Is the white flower the most beautiful one or the red flower the most beautiful one? Such questions don't arise out here. Such questions have come from cultures which are steeped in morality, as to something has to be good and something has to be bad. In this state of making something right and making something wrong, there is no way a spiritual process can happen, because essentially spiritual process means all-inclusiveness. If you cannot embrace everything the way it is, if you have to accept some and reject some, then there will be no spiritual process. You will only have morality, no spirituality.
I love this very, very much.
Yeah, that was great, right? So talking about, all paths lead to the same ocean and we all are attracted to different teachers and gurus. Yeah, so for those of you who didn't get that, Osho is Rajneesh. So he's, that's his real name, I guess, or one of his other titles. Yeah, and he was the master of controversy. So yeah, it was nice to hear Sadhguru, talk kindly and respectfully, and then touching on, that one festival that they showed in there where everybody from all different paths come together to celebrate together, and there's no, it's just harmony, right? So they're all coming together in peace and harmony, even though they have different teachers and different paths and maybe very different, views of ultimate reality and stuff. But we all have our different ways and our different journeys. So conceptually, we can understand the ultimate in very, very different ways. But, it doesn't matter, right? So we don't have to be against somebody who has a different view or a different way, because Sadhguru is saying that it's the progress that matters, right? Are you making progress on the path or not? Yeah, and I love it a lot too, because there is controversial teachers out there, right? Just Sadhguru talks about in other videos, just doing good in the world is gonna, attract, controversy, and people are going to be against you no matter what you do, right? So it sounds like Osho's embracing his controversial path, and still, there's people who still find benefit. So that's what matters, right? So so that's why we're open to all sorts of spiritual teachers, right? We're gonna dive into more Osho videos. We haven't yet watched a video from him.
No, so this was like the preparation, yeah. And we will use discernment. Like, we'll not react to every teacher, but that's just personal. And I think, it's great that he made the point again that it is the progress that matters. And if you're benefiting from a teacher, and if your friend doesn't like that teacher, then so what? It's about becoming more kind and loving and wise and purifying. So it's a big topic, and but we have to understand that we are all unique and we need different teachers, maybe, at different times. And I learned that throughout my journey, even different traditions within Buddhism, or then even other so-called religions. It's been very beneficial to extract whatever I just needed on the path from different sources.
Yeah, a lot of clarifications happening, right? So me coming from a Christian background, I began to understand, for me personally, I understood the teachings of Jesus much, much more when I began to dive into Buddhism and Hinduism, right? So what was he actually talking about? And then it's very hard to, figure that out when you only have one view. Sometimes you need different words and different concepts that point to the same thing, to help, make that connection as to what was actually being taught. Yeah, I also liked how Sadhguru said that, every teacher, every master has their own way of expression, right? So they're not worrying about what people think. They're not ego-identified beings anymore, and they're just spontaneous, and they're just acting, however they need to for the people that they're teaching to at the time, right? So, and then sometimes it can be very, wrathful, sometimes, very kind and considerate, but no, sometimes it's got to be bam! Like who was it that was hitting one of his students with the sandal?
Oh my God. Was that Naropa, Tilopa? One of those?
Yeah, one of the teachers from the Kagyu lineage, Milarepa's lineage, was hitting his student with the sandal, and then that's when the student finally got it. So so it's just that sort of thing, right? So controversial, and we haven't watched Osho at all yet, so I'm not too sure, why he has this controversy, but it doesn't matter, we're still open to learning. Like Sadhguru said, it's many paths, many ways. If a path isn't working for you, I think that's why it's so great about, India and Sanatan Dharma. I think is that how you say it correctly? Because, what the Westerners labeled as Hinduism, right? Yeah, they get it, right? So many ways, many paths, many teachings, many teachers, and even the teachers are coming from a certain path, and then they're turning it into, their own path, what worked for them, their discoveries. So it's kind of distilled, but it's still part of a path. It's not like it's totally different, but it could be, a little bit, new, a little bit more, try this, right? So yeah, it's fascinating that we have so many teachers.
Exactly. We are fortunate to have all these different teachers, all these different tools, all these different teachings pointing to the same truth. And we just have to understand that. And different tools work at different times. So we are extremely fortunate with this diversity. It's good.
Yeah, so fortunate. I love all the spiritual teachers and teachings out there. And that there's a lot on YouTube, and we could just binge watch all of this golden spiritual content using our discernment to really, pick out the truth and the essence and what's going to work for us, and not disparage or be against others who follow other teachers. It's like, if you're following a different teacher and I, don't like that teacher, I can, look at you and be like, oh, is this person becoming more kind? Are we growing, closer just because we're both on the path, and we're becoming more harmonious because we're letting go of our negativities? Yeah, that's the essence and the goal ultimately. So whoever can help us do that, fantastic. So very nice. So if you like this video too, please hit that like button. And remember to subscribe. It really, really helps the channel. Let us know what you think down in the comments. And remember, raise yourself.
And raise the beautiful world. Thank you so much, everyone. And a very special thank you to all our members. We love you.
Peace.